What's going on, guys? Andrew Piluk Hockey here, back again with another video. It's been so long. I don't even know if you're watching this right now. If you are, thank you very much. I don't know how many people are still sticking around here. I took some time off to regroup, okay? I wanted to see what I wanted to do with this channel, how I wanted to go forward, and I have some really cool ideas, and I want to go back to the stuff that I like to do. So today we're going to be talking about Easton Cowan. So if you are new here, make sure to like this video and subscribe. Join the squad. I'd love to have you guys here, make lots of Leafs content, and that's what I plan on doing very soon. There hasn't been a lot lately, but there's a lot coming. But I needed to come back because there's a lot of great stuff going on, and I feel refreshed. I feel like my opinions are good, and that I want to talk about the Leafs again, because I'm watching all the games. I'm still a diehard Leaf fan. Just need some time to refresh the content. But we need to talk about Easton Cowan, like I said. And as we know, they got bounced. Okay, Team Canada got bounced. They didn't play well in the World Juniors, and the main thing that's been pulled out of this is Easton Cowan. And as we all know, Easton Cowan is a highly touted Maple Leafs prospect that's been tearing up the OHL basically since he's touched the puck in the OHL with these elongated streaks and putting up points in basically every single game. And it was a no-brainer to have him on the World Juniors, but the way that the team was built this year for the World Juniors, it probably wasn't even a guarantee that he was going to be on the team. It was such a poorly built team, and Team Canada did not look very good. And if we're just speaking from a Leafs fan perspective, I think all of us were really excited to see the way that he played, but he wasn't his best. And I think it's fair for teenagers or hockey players in general to go through streaks where they're not very good. And unfortunately, Easton Cowan was doing it at the World Juniors. But I've said it, and maybe this is going to make me seem like such a, biased Leaf fan. But if this guy wasn't a Leaf prospect, a lot of people wouldn't care. And the reason I say that is because a lot of the bigger accounts that were tweeting and talking about this were like Senators fans and stuff like that. And again, no disrespect to Senators fans, but there's a few accounts out there, just like there's a few Leaf accounts out there that like to start up stuff that's unnecessary. And the hate towards this kid has been ridiculous. And I want to talk about Elliot Freeman basically dipping his toes into potentially some Leafs trade rumors regarding Easton Cowan. And Elliot Freeman said, I know Cowan really struggled the last couple of weeks, but I think you're insane if you're going to give up on this kid based on 2 bad weeks. I see people saying, oh, they should trade him. Number one, his value will never be lower than it is now. And number two, I think it's bananas to give up on someone you really think highly of based on 2 bad weeks. And I echo these statements from Elliot Freeman. It's probably the most level-headed takes that we've heard in quite some time. This kid is special. We saw it last year in Maple Leafs training camp. We saw it this year in Leafs training camp. He's got all the tools to be a really good NHL player. And there's guys in the NHL that go months, sometimes years, playing poorly. They do that in junior. They do that in any league, whether it's the AHL, OHL, the Q, it doesn't matter. Every league, you go through hot streaks and cold streaks. There's tournaments where people don't show up. There's playoffs where people don't show up. And unfortunately, Easton Cowan was not very good. But what I would like to add is the statistics for the World Juniors for Team Canada. This team didn't do anything, and Easton Cowan was tied for first in points. They did absolutely nothing. And if you look at years previous, the Maple Leafs, technically there's a Leaf on there in the Maple Leaf, but Team Canada have always been dominant, okay? Like there's games where these guys would put up this amount of points, like 3 and 3 for this guy, and 3 down here and 2 down there and 5 up here in one game. They would go out there and actually beat Latvia like 15-0, and there would be guys that have 6 points in one game. The last couple of years, this team doesn't know how to score. They don't know how to put up points. They don't know how to play as a team. And I will add, Easton Cowan did look selfish on some plays. It happens. There's a lot of players that are deemed to be selfish hockey players. I don't think that's Easton Cowan. We've seen the playmaking abilities in the OHL. We saw it in Maple Leafs training camp, like I've said. So if it looked like he was selfish all the way up until this tournament, I'd be like, now it looks like it's biting him in the ass. But he's not that style of player. And I wish a lot of people would have an open mind to go and watch this kid and how he plays in different areas of his game, because this is not Easton Cowan. The way that he played was not the way that Easton Cowan truly plays the game of hockey, and I will stand on that. And I'm very curious to see how he treats the rest of his season in the OHL, because I don't know if he's a big social media guy. He's a kid, so I'd imagine he's on social media. But I don't understand the hate for this kid, and I really hope it doesn't get to his head, because if he goes out there and he starts playing poorly in the OHL, that's not going to look so good, especially because nobody wants to, see this kid falter in any way and beat up on himself. But let's look at his numbers, and this is what I wanted to bring up. If you look at Easton Cowan throughout his junior career, 96 points last year in 54 games, 34 points in 18 games in the playoffs. This year, wearing an A for the Knights, 28 points in 20 games. And then at the juniors, obviously 3 points in 5 games. And he took some dumb penalties, don't get me wrong. But holy, the officiating, really bad in the World Juniors. And not only that, Team Canada, whoever's teaching these kids how to hit, and these junior teams, these kids don't know how to hit properly. Like, be physical, that's fine, but like actually learn how to throw a body check. I was talking to my good buddy Audie, and you guys have seen him on this channel many times. These kids don't know how to throw a body check. Like, they don't know how to throw a hit. Like, we all did hitting clinics as kids on how to throw a proper body check, and I'm a goalie, but I still had to do a hitting clinic. Okay, I had to put on player gear, and I had to go out there and do hitting clinics, and I was not bad at it. I did lay some nice hits. I'm not gonna lie, not at this level clearly, but oh my God, these kids don't know how to hit, and it's brutal to watch. Oh, and I missed some of his other stats here. The Memorial Cup, 8 points in 4 games. Like, the kid always puts up numbers. He had a bad tournament. Even though he was tied for first in points on the team, it's not always just about points. He had a bad tournament. But, I kind of want to wrap up this conversation with the ridiculous notion that the Maple Leafs should be trading Easton Cowan because of a bad tournament, okay? Again, Elliot Freeman saying his value has never been lower. I do agree with that, but I don't think people who actually have brains know that Easton Cowan having a few bad games at the World Juniors doesn't make him a bad player and doesn't diminish his trade value. But at the same time, I don't even know why this conversation is happening unless the Maple Leafs are going to go out there and acquire an elite talent, because Easton Cowan is a centerpiece to a big trade. He's not just a throw-in or let's just take on another prospect because Easton Cowan had a few bad games at the World Juniors. It's absolutely ridiculous. It makes no sense. I don't agree with it whatsoever. I think the kid's going to have a fantastic career in the NHL. He's only 19. He's just getting started. He's developing into a different player, and that's what junior is for. You get these guys ready for the NHL, and sometimes there's growing pains, and the World Juniors proved that there's still some growing pains with Easton Cowan on the big stage, playing with the Canadian Leaf, the flag, the Canadian flag on your chest. It's a lot different. It's different, and when you put on that Leaf jersey, you're gonna feel the pressure probably more, which sounds crazy, which sounds absolutely crazy, but it's true. We all know Leaf fans. We're some of them, okay? So it's gonna be a little nuts for the kid. But if you guys are new here, make sure to like this video and subscribe. Join the squad. I had a lot of fun making this. I'm so happy to be back making Leafs content. I want to know what you guys want to see. So, yeah, let me know what you guys think. And hopefully I'll see you in the next video or stream. Peace.